Hey guys, welcome back to Technical Akash. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss an update. Today we're diving into something chilling, my top 10 horror movie picks that will keep you up all night. We're talking about those films that get under your skin, the ones that make you double check your locks and sleep with the lights on. From demonic possessions to haunted houses and everything in between, we've got a spooky lineup that's guaranteed to give you the chills. So grab your popcorn, dim the lights, and get ready to dive into the world of horror. And hey, if you're brave enough, let me know in the comments which movie you think is the scariest of them all. Starting our list off strong with a true titan of terror, it's The Exorcist, folks. Released back in 1973, this film shocked audiences and cemented its place as a cornerstone of horror. The Exorcist doesn't rely on cheap jump scares. It messes with your mind, man. We're talking about demonic possession here, the fear of the unknown invading a child. Imagine this. You're a parent, and your little girl starts acting strange, her head spinning around like a top. Two priests step up to banish the evil. The special effects are chillingly effective. That iconic image of Regan on the bed, her voice transformed into something demonic. The Exorcist is a masterclass in psychological horror, a film that will stay with you long after you've watched it. Next on our list is a film that burrows into your brain and lays eggs of unease. Buckle up, folks, because we're diving into the twisted world of Hereditary. Released in 2018, this movie took the horror genre by storm, proving that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create ourselves. Hereditary isn't your typical haunted house flick. It's a slow burn, a creeping sense of dread that tightens its grip on you with each passing scene. This is a film about family secrets, about the sins of the past coming back to haunt the present. Toni Collette delivers an absolutely gut-wrenching performance as Annie, the mother desperately trying to hold her family together as everything around them crumbles. Hereditary isn't about jump scares, it's about atmosphere, about the unsettling feeling that something is deeply, terribly wrong. Get ready to check into one of the most iconic horror settings of all time, the Overlook Hotel, as we discuss the masterpiece that is The Shining. This 1980 film, directed by the legendary Stanley Kubrick, is a masterclass in psychological horror, a slow descent into madness that will leave you shaken. Imagine this. You're snowed in, isolated in a massive, empty hotel. The silence is deafening, broken only by the creaking of the building and the whispers of something sinister lurking just out of sight. Now, imagine your husband, the man who's supposed to protect you, is slowly losing his mind, his sanity unraveling with each passing day. That's the terrifying reality that Jack Torrance, played with chilling intensity by Jack Nicholson, faces in The Shining. The Shining is a visual feast with iconic imagery that has become ingrained in pop culture. It's a film that gets under your skin, that makes you question your own sanity. Hold on tight, because we're diving into Get Out, a thought-provoking and terrifying film. Directed by Jordan Peele, this 2017 masterpiece is a sharp commentary on race and society. Chris, a young black man, meets his white girlfriend's parents for the first time. Sounds innocent enough, right? Wrong. Chris notices something deeply wrong in this idyllic community. The film builds tension, starting with microaggressions and escalating into horror. Get Out makes you think as much as it makes you jump. Get ready to enter a world where sleep offers no escape, a world where your worst nightmares become reality. That's right, folks, we're talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street. This 1984 classic introduced us to one of horror's most iconic villains, Freddy Krueger, the disfigured boogeyman who haunts your dreams. Imagine this. You're drifting off to sleep, feeling safe and secure in your bed. But then, the dreams start. They're vivid, terrifying, and they all feature the same menacing figure, Freddy Krueger, with his burned face, his razor-sharp claws, and his twisted sense of humor. Freddy preys on the vulnerable, on those who are just on the cusp of adulthood. And the worst part? If he kills you in your dreams, you die in real life. A Nightmare on Elm Street is a masterclass in visual effects with groundbreaking practical effects that still hold up to this day. This film tapped into a primal fear, the fear of the unknown that lurks in the shadows of our minds. Hold on to your seats, folks, because we're about to enter the terrifying world of The Conjuring. Directed by James Wan, this 2013 film is based on the true cases of Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Perron family moves into their dream home in 1971, but their idyllic life turns into a nightmare as they realize their new home is haunted. The Conjuring is a masterclass in suspense, full of jump scares and creepy imagery. Get ready to face the boogeyman, folks, because we're about to revisit the film that redefined the slasher genre, Halloween. This 1978 classic, directed by the legendary John Carpenter, introduced us to Michael Myers, the masked killer who terrorizes the town of Haddonfield on Halloween night. Halloween is a masterclass in suspense and atmosphere. The film follows Laurie Strode, a seemingly ordinary babysitter who becomes the target of Michael Myers' murderous rampage. John Carpenter's iconic score, with its simple yet effective piano melody, adds to the film's chilling atmosphere. The film is shot from Michael Myers' point of view, putting the audience in the killer's shoes and creating a sense of unease that permeates every scene. Halloween is a film that gets under your skin, that makes you question the motives of every stranger and double-check your locks at night. Prepare to be haunted by more than just jump scares, because we're delving into the psychological depths of The Babadook. This 2014 Australian film isn't your average monster movie. It's a chilling exploration of grief, loss, and the monsters we create within ourselves. The Babadook introduces us to Amelia, a widowed mother struggling to cope with the death of her husband while raising her troubled son, Samuel. Their already fragile world is turned upside down by the arrival of a sinister children's book, Mr. Babadook. As Samuel becomes increasingly convinced that the Babadook is real, Amelia dismisses it as childhood fears. But as the lines between reality and delusion blur, Amelia begins to experience the terrifying presence of the Babadook herself. The Babadook is a masterclass in psychological horror, using the titular monster as a metaphor for Amelia's suppressed grief and the overwhelming challenges of single parenthood. The film doesn't rely on cheap scares, but on a creeping sense of dread and the unsettling realization that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create within ourselves. Get ready for a relentless nightmare, folks, because we're diving into the world of It Follows. This 2014 film takes a simple yet terrifying premise: a supernatural entity that relentlessly pursues its victims, and turns it into a masterclass in suspense and dread. It Follows introduces us to Jay, a young woman who, after a seemingly innocent sexual encounter, finds herself the target of a terrifying curse. She's relentlessly pursued by a shape-shifting entity, one that can take the form of anyone, and the only way to pass the curse is to sleep with someone else. This film is a slow burn, building tension with each passing moment as Jay and her friends try to outrun the inescapable. The entity can be anyone, anywhere, and it never stops, never sleeps, always watching, always approaching. It Follows is a film that gets under your skin and stays there. It plays on our primal fears of the unknown, of being stalked, of being helpless against an unseen force. Fasten your seatbelts and prepare for a bumpy ride through the backroads of Texas, because we're wrapping up our list with the granddaddy of gritty raw horror, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This 1974 film, with its low-budget aesthetic and unflinching brutality, sent shockwaves through the horror genre and continues to terrify audiences to this day. Imagine this: you're driving through rural Texas, the sun beating down on your van as you and your friends search for adventure. You stumble upon a dilapidated farmhouse, a place that seems lost in time. You think it's just an abandoned building, a relic of the past. But you're wrong, dead wrong. This is the home of Leatherface, a hulking figure wearing a mask of human skin and wielding a chainsaw with terrifying efficiency. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not for the faint of heart. It's a visceral, unflinching portrayal of violence and terror. A film that gets under your skin and stays there. So there you have it. My top 10 horror movies that you need to watch if you're a true horror fan. From demonic possessions to haunted houses, from relentless slashers to psychological thrillers, these films represent the best of the horror genre. I've given you a taste of the terror, a glimpse into the darkness, but now it's your turn to face your fears. Grab some popcorn, dim the lights, and get ready for a night of chills and thrills. And hey, if you're feeling brave, let me know in the comments which movie you think is the scariest of them all. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay spooky, folks.